I think that's time to break into the main topic this week.
Well, Kyle, given your choice of lottery.com, it seemed like it was only natural we took today's episode to really dig into the efficiencies of issuing royalties and dividends with security tokens. So let's, of course, first start by diving into lottery.com's upcoming royalty payment. Kyle, please walk our listeners through the details of that process.
Yeah, so the company was thrust into the security token spotlight after launching a lottery security token offering to give investors exposure to an upcoming raffle the company was planning called the Global Impact Raffle. The idea centered around collecting raffle participation and incentivizing users to continue playing through gamified economic mechanisms. The token offers investors 7% of the net revenue on the planned Global Impact Raffle. However, since the inception of the LDCC token launched in late 2018, not much has been heard from the initiative. For the recent royalty payment, Lottery provided investors with a web link which they can use their form of payment. They can choose their form of payment, which ranges from over 120 fiat currencies to cryptocurrencies like a USD stablecoin, Ether, and many others. The entire process happened online and is in a testament to the work that Securitize has done with their DS protocol, that underlying issuance layer, to have full distribution that occurs compliantly on-chain.
You gotta love those smart contracts. It sounds, Kyle, like it's safe to say that the process of the royalty is basically the same as the process of a dividend. And if the efficiencies in using dividends and royalties are in essence the same, I think it's important we really highlight this using another example. We know that the Curzio equity token has said to investors in their STO that the company plans to pay a dividend in the future. Let's walk through how they are using smart contracts to issue that dividend and how for them as an issuer, it's now far more efficient than their public market counterpart.
That sounds great. Lead the way.
Great, I'll do that happily. So for the CEO token, which is the 10th token, by the way, to be issued by Securitize, was launched by Curzio Research and has real-time access to knowing at all times who its beneficiaries are because they issued a security token. And if the token were to be trading on a secondary market or transferred via Securitize's instant access tool, which is the expectation, then even if the token changes hands, Curzio Research will still know who its owners are 24/7 in real time. And from there, when they decide to issue a dividend, the process can be done instantly using smart contracts to programmatically distribute the value pro rata to the ownership of all wallet holders. That's the capability of issuing instant dividends. It's truly amazing. This is simply not the case when it comes to public markets. Dividends can take weeks to pay out because the issuer has to work with the broker to figure out who gets paid what, and from there the issuer needs to go back and update the transfer agent. That's a massive inefficiency compared to our CEO token example. In fact, Carlos Domingo, the CEO of Securitize, highlights in an article with CoinDesk that there are middlemen that thrive on these efficiencies, right? CompuShare sits on over $18 billion in unpaid dividends that they manage for a fee until they get paid, leading to some $250 million in annual revenues alone for them. Furthermore, Kyle, we know that issuing dividends on-chain has a lot of additional benefits beyond this. Let's run through some of them.
18 billion in unpaid dividends that they just get to charge a fee on because they don't get issued. That's just,
that's inefficient.
We definitely have some room there. We can definitely squeeze out. So transparency, as you said, is a key to reducing a lot of those unnecessary middleman fees that you mentioned. Recording dividend history alone on an immutable ledger is a process that has never really been successfully executed in this way at scale, which allows for tremendous benefits for issuers and financial intermediaries to leverage advanced analytics to better understand their shareholders and to more effectively estimate wait times, transfer fees, and more. The smart contracts themselves offer tremendous benefits for firms, as the expense of issuing the dividend itself is now dramatically cheaper than manual issuance. Between instant deployment, cheaper execution, and detailed investor analytics, there's really no reason an issuer should prefer manual dividends over its tokenized counterpart. Additionally, you can now send all sorts of dividend or royalty payments to investors. You're not just limited to cash. Traditionally, investors get paid in fiat. Not getting paid in USD was seen as a currency risk because other fiat currencies were seen as inferior for some investors. But now with smart contracts, a company like Curzio Research could actually send Bitcoin, crypto, additional shares by issuing more CEO tokens, or it could even distribute other security tokens in its treasury, any of which would be issued, tracked, and managed on-chain for full transparency and efficiency. Maybe Herwig really wants to be paid in gold, Well, now Curzio could use cash to get gold-backed tokens that he could then issue a dividend with. Now we can be paying dividends with just about anything instantly. Now startups could offer stock dividends to investors each year that they held the token, or many other innovative possibilities. And you could always just be boring and use a good old USD stablecoin like USDC or DAI and pay US dollars on chain to token holders, as we saw with Lottery.com, who offered more than 120 different payment options for their royalty. It's simply unheard of in public markets and even traditional off-chain private markets.
I mean, now you're giving me goosebumps, Kyle, because this is where the possibilities start to get endless. On-chain payments are actually a massive pillar of the DeFi community in their lending applications and other decentralized finance applications to instantly and programmatically pay dividends on-chain to token holders. There's actually more than $1 billion of DeFi tokens now locked up in smart contracts being programmatically paid back. At the end of the day, paying royalties or dividends are just another one of those major game changers that security tokens are bringing to the table. It's not to be underlooked when compared to the benefit of ease of transfer leading to liquidity. On-chain payments will fundamentally change capital markets. You heard it here. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. And with that, Kyle, I think we can conclude today's show. As always, thanks for tuning into another episode. And for those of you who are new listeners, hopefully you enjoyed the show. Please always feel free to send in questions, comments, or feedback for us. You can reach us directly, both Kyle and I, on Twitter and LinkedIn.
It's another great episode, Herwig. Thanks again for everyone listening, and we hope to catch you all next week. Talk to you soon.